Hello, 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 Reiki Studio, and welcome. My name is Kathy Milanowski, and I'm your host today. Reiki Studio was developed by me to embrace your life journey, to allow that light to shine through whatever you need to do. The panelists are a group of people, individuals that came up through our community. They are our peers, and they would like to talk to you about certain subjects and topics that Reiki Studio is offering you. We offer this twice a month, the second Friday of the month at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time, and then the fourth Sunday of the month on the weekenders for the 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. Usually we go through the same subject, but we go a little bit more in depth on the second episode. So this is our 9th episode, and welcome, and I hope you enjoy yourselves. This episode is all about introducing the chakra system. Our chakra system is a very elegant, energetic system that makes us who we are, helps us live and thrive and absorb and do whatever we need to do in our daily path. So each month we're going to honor that. And this month we're actually going to honor the root chakra. The root chakra is our base center. It's what connects us to earth. We are earthlings, you know? So we're here on earth, we're thriving on earth, and these lovely panelists are going to share a little bit about what they'd like to talk about. And so with this said, we're going to welcome the panelists. And first of all is going to be a tennis, and she's going to do the basic understandings of the root chakra. You know, what's the basic principles and little things like that. So thank you, Tanis, for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Kathy.
You're so welcome.
Hello to all the other panelists as well.
Hello.
So it's always an honor to be on these panels. So today we're talking about the root chakra. So the root chakra is really about grounding into the earth and really feeling connected. So oftentimes in our busy lives, we get all disconnected and we're running around trying to get things done. So coming back to that center and just really connecting to the earth is really important, especially with right now, with everything that's going on. We have a tendency to get caught up in the fear. And so the root chakra is all about that safety and security. And how do we find that in the world today? So it's about safety, security, and survival. Those would be the three big things with that. And so when you think about the root chakra, our fight and flight mode is actually related to the root chakra. And so you can have a balanced root chakra, you can have an overactive or an underactive root chakra. So when we talk about that, if you're balanced, you feel safe and secure and comfortable. If it's overactive, then you may find that you have symptoms like feeling angry and aggressive, you know, flying off the handle for no reason, those kinds of things. If it's underactive, that's where you get like the anxiety and the fear and, you know, really not sure, not like feeling very uneasy in yourself, right? So if you have a lot of anxiety and that kind of thing. So my fellow panelists are actually going to talk about some great ways to start to balance those energies in that. So what are some of the things that could cause that kind of behavior or that kind of problem with your root chakra? Now, keep in mind the root chakra is like a vortex of energy. Okay, so if we get it really stuffed with energy, denser energy, it's not functioning properly. So that's what I mean when I'm talking about the underactive. So things that could actually block the root chakra might be things like childhood traumas. They could be things like physical abuse or, you know, physical neglect, fear of change. That's a big one for all of us. We all fight with that kind of fear. And, you know, poor mother-child relationship when you're young, those kinds of things. So it really goes down. So if you think about, I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with the Maslow's hierarchy of need. So the root chakra is really that base one. Now, his theory is that you have to have all of your survival needs filled before that you can advance into you know, the enlightenment or being more filling the other needs of your life, right? The comfort needs. So this is really about that those base security needs that we have. So what I'd like to do is take you through a little meditation that I do often, where we're going to actually pull energy all the way through the chakra system, and then we're going to ground and anchor to the earth. And we'll do that through our root chakra. Okay, so what I'd like you to do is just everybody close your eyes, please. I'm going to follow this up with repeating some root chakra affirmations. So when we get to the root chakra affirmations, I'll let you know that. What I want you to do is just repeat them after I say them. So I will say the affirmation, and then I'll just have you repeat that. And then I'd like you to notice how you're feeling now versus when we're finished. Okay, so just notice what your energy field, so your energy field is all around you. Just notice how that feels now as we go into this, and then notice how you're going to feel when you're done. Okay, so if you can just close your eyes with me, please, that would be great. And I just want you to start off by taking 3 big deep breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. Just focusing on relaxing all of those muscles throughout the body. Okay. Now what I'd like you to do is take a deep breath, and I want you to imagine that you're pulling energy down through the crown chakra, through the third eye, down through the throat, the heart chakra, down through the solar plexus and the sacral, and down through the root chakra. Here's where we're going to go further. We're going down through the feet. We're imagining that we have roots coming out of our feet, tendrils of energy that are reaching down through the cool earth till they come across a big rock or a big tree root down there. I want you to wrap those around the rock or the tree root. And we're just going to continue all the way down to the center of the earth now. We're going to go all the way down to the crystalline core of the earth. We're going to wrap our roots around that crystalline core. You might want to take note of what crystal it is that your core looks like today. And I just want you to take a deep breath, and we're going to bring some of that earth energy all the way up through those roots, all the way up, all the way into your root chakra. All the way up through the root chakra, through the sacral, through the solar plexus, the heart, the throat, third eye, and the crown, all the way up to source. So you have a beautiful circuit going, grounded to the earth. We're going to do the affirmations now. So I'm just going to have you repeat after me. You can do this aloud or in your head, whatever's more comfortable. I feel deeply rooted. I am connected to my body. I feel safe and secure. Just like a tree or a star, I have a right to be here. I have what I need. I am grounded, stable, and standing on my own 2 feet. I nurture my body with healthy food, clean water, exercise, relaxation, and connection with nature. I am open to possibilities. I am grateful for all the challenges that helped me to grow and transform. I trust in the goodness of life. I make choices that are healthy and good for me. I trust myself. And I love myself. I love life. And I'll just have you take 3 big deep breaths in through your nose, out through your mouth. And you can open your eyes whenever you're ready. I'd just like you to notice the difference of how you feel now versus before you did that. Do you feel less fearful? Because that is what it feels like when you're grounded, balanced, and you feel safe. So there's one mantra that I'd like to leave you with. So a mantra is something that you can repeat over the day if you are feeling a little bit nervous or anxious. And it is, I am strong, stable, and at peace. So I shall pass it off to one of my other fellow panelists to talk about how you can do more of that in
Thank
your
you.
everyday life.
Thank you so very much. Thank you,
My
Dana.
pleasure. Thank you.
Welcome. Thank you so very much. That was great. I actually visualized, that was the first time I visualized a crystal in a long time. Get down there. I don't know why, but it was a quartz crystal for me. Anybody else? Yeah, I loved it. And then I brought it up, and when I was bringing it up, it just kind of really, I don't know. It was beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Anybody else want to share their crystal? They're going to be quiet about the crystal.
Yeah, mine was a really deep, dark amethyst.
Yeah.
And then when you said to bring it up, it changed. It changed into like a deep red ruby. And I was like, oh, okay, I got two.
Ooh, beautiful.
It was beautiful. Yeah. When there's, I could really, really feel it. And just, oh, and I remember also it made me want to bring my hand up to my heart. And when I did, it just kind of went like all the way through. It was amazing. Thank you.
Awesome.
Beautiful. Absolutely.
I often tell people depending on what they see as a crystal, those might be ones that you want to work with over the course of the day. So
That's beautiful. That's my favorite too, so I'll work with it. I love crystals. Well, our next is how do we incorporate different things in our life to support our root chakra, to support our groundment with the earth. And so we feel the security and safety and trusting ourselves and things around us because look where we're at, you know? So Gary Chatham is going to help us with that. And Gary, you ready? He's having a little difficulty with
Yeah, good morning, everyone. I am having internet problems and I'm not sure what it's
we got you back.
drop out. Don't know why. I think Tanis gave us a good example of working with the root chakra, but it's working with the root over the whole of your life. That's the focus. So I may repeat a little bit, and because we all kind of, but realize that each chakra is an inflow and outflow of energy at the same time. So it's not all coming in, but it's coming in and going out. And the chakras are your energetic connection with not only the energetic field that's out there, but also it's the energetic connection with how your energy connects with the physical world. So it's that connection. And the root is a big part of that because, like we talked about, the word root in Sanskrit is mula, and that means root literally, and adhara means support or base. So it's those two together talking about the root chakra. So it's from the base of the spine and the pelvic floor and down through the legs into the earth. And like we talked about, it's feelings of safety, security, and stability that are related to that. So if you're out of balance, like Tana said, you could have nightmares, feel insecurity, could even be relationship problems, but financial problems. So I always talk about working with all the chakras and doing some meditation, and you can start to feel which ones you need to work with. And so the traditional Hindu chant works with Om or Am with a different prefix for each chakra. Sorry, I'm distracted with my internet stuff. So the one for the root chakra is putting an L before that syllable, so it's Lam. So the chanting really opens up the chakra energy. So just like we did with what? Can you hear me okay? Okay. Just like we did a little bit with Tanis, but visualizing as you're doing the chant, the grounding energy going down into the earth and also coming out the chakras in your feet, coming up into the earth and going both ways. So you're connecting with the earth down, the earth's energy is coming up for you. As you feel the energy and you're doing some of the affirmations that Tanis talked about, you may feel blocks. You may feel something come up that's like and that means there's a subconscious root that needs to be dealt with. There's some deeper inner healing that needs to be dealt with. And that's where there are ways to work with that. So I can talk about that more now or later on if someone's interested, but clearing out those subconscious roots So you may, and the affirmation may be a key that something is blocked still on a deeper level. One easy and fun way to work with the root chakra is do what we call nature baths, bathing in nature. So going out, doing mindful meditation, walking meditation in nature. When it's warm out, connecting with the earth, walking barefoot on the earth, on the dirt, on the sand, on the grass, and taking some time to get in touch with the earth, listen to the earth, and actively do that meditation with the root chakra going down into the earth as you're out walking, connecting with nature. And different meditation teachers like Thich Nhat Hanh recommends mindful walking, and even in Europe, the counselors, professional therapists recommend it as a actual prescription of going out and doing nature baths. And like Tanis talked about with the visualization with crystals, you can start to work with actual crystals, laying them on you or holding them close to you. And Tanis can probably chime in more with this too, but black or green stones like onyx and hematite, and black tourmaline or red stones like jasper, red agate, they're all connected with the root energy. There's also yoga poses that you can work with for the root chakra. So different ones include the mountain, the squat, the warrior, the goddess, and the child pose. So working with those and focusing on how your energy is going as you're doing those can all help. That's what I had, Kathy. I can't hear you.
I'm next. Do you want me to go ahead?
Yeah, no, sorry, I had myself on mute. I couldn't find it. Well, thank you so very much. I appreciate it. And next is Karen Cake, and she is going to give the essentials, like the little different extra things that we do, you know, oils and rocks that we talked about a little bit, and just other different kind of things that will emphasize, help you, you know, get that connection to it. So
Right.
Thank you so very much, Karen.
No, you're welcome. And yeah, it's exactly what Tana said. It's doing the affirmations, and what Gary said. I can't thank you enough for talking about earthing, and because I am a person who really escapes any childhood trauma. Anybody know? So I mean, we all have like that childhood trauma. So I have had to work with my root chakra a lot, and going outside, like Gary said, and doing nature baths, that helps so much. So I'm going to talk probably the most about essential oils, because that is a way of like, it's nature in a bottle when you can't get outside. So I'm going to talk about that. But just overall, because we're all Reiki practitioners, what I'm talking about is like just enhancers, I think of. I mean, because Reiki, you know, Reiki does its thing. Reiki is amazing. And there are, you know, different modalities also. But these are things that help us focus our intention. And we know that intention is the most important part. I mean, right? How do you get your Reiki to flow? I mean, I remember in Reiki 1 and 2, you know, you start with drawing the symbols on your palms and all of that, but it's mainly intention. It's just intending for it to flow. Getting ready for this today, I was kind of giggling because I'm like, oh, look how many of us put on red. Why did we do that? I did that intentionally because red is for the root chakra. Gary said, I didn't have anything red. But every tiny little thing. So like wearing red, eating root vegetables. Okay, Tanis, I know you're in Canada, but I know you're looking down here at the United States going like, what on earth? So I ate potato soup last night. I love potatoes. If you need a good excuse to eat some carbs, there you go. Why? Because there's a lot of fear. There's a lot of uncertainty, and that's what the root chakra is about. So I was telling Kathy yesterday, I said I was at the grocery store and I walked past the radishes and I backed up and I went, I really want some radishes, red and root vegetable. So some of it's intentional, but then sometimes I feel like my body is just sort of drawn toward like some beets or something like that. So if you know that you're having some trouble with anxiety and fear and all of that, then do some intentional, let me put on a red shirt today. Maybe that'll help. Put on my red lipstick, not you, Gary, but Who knows, maybe. But a little bit. I remember as a teenager having a bad day. Of course, I grew up in Texas, y'all. Please forgive me. But my mom used to say, just put on some red lipstick. That'll just put on your red lipstick and go on. And I've reflected on that, and I thought, it's sort of like a Texas woman thing, but there was something to that putting on it wasn't put on your pink lipstick. It was put on your red lipstick. And I think about that. That's, connecting to that energy, that red root energy. So those are just some different things that you can do. The next thing is crystals, like they both mentioned. And I was looking, I think I gave my black tourmaline to a friend who was really ungrounded, but those dark, oh, thank you. There you go. Black tourmaline. That's probably like one of the most grounding stones. Hematite, like Gary mentioned, bloodstone, red jasper. Y'all, I have to share this. My son's girlfriend gave me this for Christmas. It's called Septarian. I had never heard of it. You guys know that? So you guys are probably more into crystals. This is an amazingly grounding. It's almost like I can't hold it up. It's like, I am very, very heavy. Now I'm speaking like a stone. Okay, I'm gonna tell you what I do with this. I sit on it. I sit on this stone. Okay, so but if I'm feeling really ungrounded, which I have been lately, and if you're like, oh, Karen, you're always that way. But no, sitting on this stone, I feel its energy now. Just whoa. So these are just all little tricks that we can do to help with the ungroundedness. Or like Tana said, it really is fight or flight. I've had an overactive root chakra a lot of times. Like, this is anger, and so some stones that are good for sort of calming the root chakra, also intentional. I put this on. This is sapphire. Sapphire and emerald, both of those are really calming for the root chakra. And it has another meaning for me too, speaking of intentionality. These were my grannies. My granny who taught me how to backcomb my hair and use hairspray. And so this is also connecting me to my family, which is also the root chakra, that sense of that tribal sense. And so as I got dressed, I thought, oh, I'm going to put this on because it's helping to balance out what's going on, just in the environment right now. And then last but not least, I have to talk about essential oils. I'm actually writing a book on using Reiki and essential oils together because it's really like this blending of the two energies is amazing. And as Gary said, many therapists in Europe prescribe going out for a nature walk, nature bathing. Yeah, I think that's what they call it in Japan. And so some of the oils that I'm going to recommend, first of all, I'm not going to go into it too much, but you really do need to make sure you're using a high quality oil. There are 4 different grades of oils. The highest A grade means that it's grown organically with no pesticides, herbicides. If it's a really good company, they like talk to the plants when they plant them. They play the music in the greenhouse. Those are the best oils because the happiest plants are going to, now I sound like a Fruit Loop, but okay. It's true though. There's science backing it up, but the happiest plants will produce the best oils. So that's what you're working with, the energy of that plant. Second grade oils may not be organic, but they're actually oils. That's good. Then we move down into the 3rd grade. That's food grade. That means that it's good enough that you could probably consume it, like peppermint oil, for example, in chewing gum, but it may be covered with pesticides, which is going to get into your system. So that's not so good. And it may be some synthetics mixed in there as well. And then the worst is what you're going to find at Walmart. The ones that are all the same price, that's your first clue. That they've done studies and there's not even enough lavender grown to account for all the lavender that's available. So most of the stuff that you see out like that, they're not even real oils, they're synthetic. Or they might not be first distillation. I didn't mention that. So they take like the roots of the plants or whatever, and then they put the water in and they steam distill it, unless it's a citrus oil, which they press. But that first distillation is the strongest. But then what they can do is like put more water, distill it again, not a little weaker, distill it. They'll do up to 4 times. And then on the 4th time, they put this chemical in there called hexane to help extract more of the oils out, but then some of the hexane ends up in the oils. So if you do see some of those Walmart oils, they'll say not just like don't eat it, it'll say like, don't put it on your skin. It's like, what the hell is in it? Probably hexane. So when I'm talking about oils, I'm talking about really high quality therapeutic, what they call in the business, they call them therapeutic grade oils. So my very favorite, I'm gonna talk about some singles. This is the one I use in my Reiki practice. I use cedar wood. This is cheap, and it is super grounding. So you can just sniff it. Sometimes I will have clients just sniff it, or I'll say, do you mind if I put this on the bottoms of your feet? People are fun. They're funny about their feet. So you have to, if you're a Reiki practitioner, I forget. I'm a really touchy-feely person. Sometimes I'm just like snatching their sock off, like, hey, I'm going to put this on your feet. You mind? You know, they're like, maybe. But why on the feet? Because you're not going to stick your hand down their pants and put it, you know, on the actual root chakra, right? You're going to put it on. Am I being inappropriate? I probably am. I apologize, Kathy. But put it on the bottoms of their feet for a couple of reasons. One, it's connected to the root, and then also that is you have really large pores, and it absorbs really quickly into the system. When you do that on the bottoms of your feet, that oil will absorb into your entire system in 26 minutes in every cell in your body. Because this isn't an oil class, but because the molecular structure is so small. But I love cedar wood. It's cheap. It works so quickly. You can feel the energy shift just like, whew. Another one, I told Kathy I had to open this before the panel discussion, is myrrh. This is a really old bottle. Myrrh, like frankincense, is a resin. Because I'm a tree lover, I hate this. So they cut the tree, and the tree oozes this resin down to heal itself. And then they have to be really careful. You know, the tree has to be so old before they can do this, and they have to do it very, very carefully. But they take that resin and they steam distill the resin. And you get this healing oil. And I just wanted to show you. It tries to turn back into a resin. It's thick. It's just like your root. I mean, you want something that's going, oh, and the smell. You want something that's going to pull you down and inward if you're trying to calm. And that's what I love myrrh for. Those of you who are familiar with the Bible know that Jesus was brought frankincense and myrrh. And I read an article, I was telling Kathy, she was shaking her head like, yeah, I know that. But maybe the others don't. So one person speculated that Jesus was brought frankincense and myrrh, both tree oils and both grounding, but that frankincense, it's a lighter oil, thinner, and myrrh, as you can see, is like myrrh. And that the lighter frankincense represents the masculine energy, the reaching outward, and the myrrh. Also, it has thorns on that tree. It's like, well, of course, the female one has thorns, but it's thicker, it's heavier, and that's what we're about. We're about the nurturing, the womb, the inside, all of that. So, again, intention. When I'm putting these oils on, I'm thinking about what they signify to me, and the smell. Not to get too much into that, but just smelling these oils that goes to the limbic part of your brain and really shifts. So this is just it's sort of like an add-on, you know, something that can help with what you're already doing. So myrrh is a little pricier because, as I just described, how you have to get it it's hard. Whereas cedar wood is more common, so it's cheaper. But you know, I like both of them. Here's the other one I had to open. Vetiver. So I've had some clients who, I have one client whose son, let's see, no, I can't say disease names, but okay, he had like a lot of focus issues at school and was really getting into trouble, and they put him on medications, and then that really changed his personality. So I said, well, you know, there have been a lot of studies with vetiver, which smells kind of, really earthy. And I've seen memes with a skeleton sitting on a bench, and it says, waiting for vetiver to come out of the bottle. It is so, okay, it's not even going to come out. It is so thick. It's a really thick, sweet smelling oil, and it's super grounding, again, on the feet or, okay. I also, not on my clients, but on myself, I put it in the top of the booty crack. I don't know how else to say that. right at the top of the booty crack. That's a perfect place to put these root chakra oils. It's as close as you're going to get to your root chakra. You don't want to put it anywhere near the other, yeah. So, but right at the top of the booty crack, that's a perfect place to put that. And patchouli is one of the, now this, okay, so cedar wood, that comes from the bark and the leaves. Myrrh comes from a resin. Vetiver actually comes from a root of a plant. And patchouli, I thought it would be a root, but it's actually from flowers. But if you know what, okay, it's kind of thick too. I can't even open it. But patchouli is a good grounding. The smell, it's working with your energetic field as well as your physical body and the Reiki energy if you're doing that. That's what I like to do. Sometimes I'll take a, okay, this one does not smell good. Valerian root. You may have heard of it. They've done a lot of studies with valerian root for its calming properties. It smells like, it smells like dirty socks. To me it does. But I just was going to show you, I probably picked the wrong oil to do this with. You can put just like a drop in your hand. I like to use my fire finger, activate my Reiki, and just kind of swirl it around 3 times, and then use that on the bottoms of my feet. Before I go to sleep, if I put it way down there, then I don't smell it while I'm sleeping. But that's a really good one. And then just quickly, how am I doing? I'm doing all right. I have some blends that I like because I don't know how to distill and do all of that and blend it, but this company has put a lot of science behind it. But this abundance oil, its main oil is patchouli, but it also has frankincense. It has a lot of the tree roots, and it's a really good one. Sometimes I diffuse it when I know that, because I have, growing up poor, I have some money issues. And so I'll actually diffuse this a lot while or when I'm doing like some affirmations, you know, like Tanis did with us, do those affirmations, diffuse it or put it on. This was my very first oil that I ever used. It's called Valor. And it's a combination. It's mainly spruce, but it also has blue tansy, which is really calming for the emotions. So this is one that really helps ground you. It's based on a formula that the Roman soldiers used before going into battle, which is frequently what the days feel like lately. So this is going on the bottom of my feet every day. Also, another thing I like to do with this, with the intention that this is grounding me, is I'll put 1 drop on my wrist, hold those 2 together for 30 seconds. Sorry. And it helps to balance the male and female energies in the body. So you could do this with, with some of those yoga poses that Gary was talking about. I also put in the event a video of some, because y'all, I'm 57 and I haven't been doing yoga all my life, and yoga is a little difficult for me. But I found some exercises. I thought, oh, I like these. And I posted a video of those. So you could, I felt it like, yep, okay, I'm balanced. Where you're actually sitting like in a butterfly position. And I was telling Kathy yesterday, I said, I can't do as he does it, like rock back and forth, because I had knee surgery in August. But I was sitting there in that butterfly with my feet, the soles of my feet together like this, and imagining being really rooted. I said, and I just rocked back and forth, side to side, and that felt so good, because I guess I've worked with my root chakra enough. I can feel when it starts to just like, sort of like close up, and just moving, just doing that back and forth with these oils. That really, really helped. This is the one I put in my booty crack a lot. Trauma. Okay, this sounds so weird. Okay, I wish maybe you can edit this off before you put it on Facebook. But this is a blend of frankincense, sandalwood. Oh, it actually smells good. So a lot of these root chakra oils, they're earthy, and some people are like, oh, that, or people's like, oh, those essential oils don't work, they just smell good. It's like, no, not always. And they do, they really do. So this Trauma Life is really a good blend for working out those issues, like Tanis was talking about, those childhood issues. And then one more, Gathering, and it's a very earthy one. It has frankincense, it has myrrh. Oh man, it's really, really, really good. But it's for like gathering your energy in for when your root chakra is, when you're not grounded, which is how I spent the majority of my life, you were just like, phew, 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 like, or how many of you do feel this way, where you're just like all over the place? It's just like, and that helps with some of these other techniques that you guys have talked about. It just that smell, it helps like, whoo. I feel like it just like pulls me into my root. So I think that's all I wanted to talk about. That's all
Well,
I have to say
you.
about that.
Thank you so very much, Karen. I love when you talk. You're so fun. There's a couple people said that maybe I'm not sure if I'm going to say the oil rights, but the Vitter helps ease seasonal allergies. So he was talking about that and a couple other things they were all talking. So, but Karen will go through and answer all the questions there on that. Karen would be a great person to get connected with if you do have any oil questions or how to use them or just really fun ideas like she's been shouting out to everybody. So it was awesome, Karen. I'm not going to block it. I think it's beautiful. So, this is the time that we have a couple more minutes left. And if any questions that you have, some people gave me some prior to this, and then anything else that you guys have, I can look in the feed and they can answer it. Let me see. They love the plant talk. Let me go through there. Okay. So I got a question for you guys. You ready? So you guys could unlock your beautiful mute buttons. Let's see here. Okay. Why would we use anything else if we're Reiki practitioners? So I'd say most of us are Reiki practitioners. And why would we use anything else that you all just talked about for a root chakra if we have Reiki? Anybody want to talk about that?
Will, I think that all of these other things like crystals and oils and yoga poses and all of that, I think that those are just other channels that we have besides our hand to channel the energy. And I think that it gives it like a wider road to come in on sometimes.
It really does empower it. You know, empowers all the little essentials that we have that we do.
I mean, the Reiki works, no doubt, but these, well, as a practitioner, sometimes just the actual, like, let me gather these together, let me get this together. That is a sort of like putting myself into that intentional state to be that clear and open channel for the Reiki. So sometimes maybe it's just that. But I think I feel a difference in how the energy feels with different crystals or with different oils. What do y'all think?
Yeah, for me, I think too, it's also about, especially the root chakra, about actually being physical and present in your body. So tapping into the senses with the different things, like, you know, feeling, especially something like this, right? Feeling the texture of the crystal and actually using your senses with the oils and stuff. Those actually help to bring you into your body. So I think that, you know, the combination is good because the Reiki raises the vibration, it clears out the chakra, and then the others just help to bring you back into the body and feel your body, to be present.
Yep.
So
I agree with you. The senses do. It's our abilities is what we do and how we hone things in and how we process things through our senses. So why would we go with not use them, right? That's great. Great. Gary, would you like to add anything on that?
I was just thinking along the same lines as what both of you said. It's bringing it into the physical and connecting it to your body, and there's different ways of doing that. So just that's the main point of it.
Yeah. And remember, Reiki enhances everything. So it doesn't say just to use it alone. You can use other modalities. You can use other ways to do it. So, yeah. All right. So we got another question. So lately in our society, we've been sitting maybe a little bit more than normal. Okay. So I've been sitting on my root chakra a lot. What can I do to loosen it up? Like, also, let's, you know, in our seats, like Karen was saying, we can move up and down and stuff like that. And also, you know, yeah, go take a walk. But let's say that you're just not in that mood. And what can you do to stir things up?
well, there's lots of great videos on YouTube for chair yoga too, if you're not really, you know, able to get down on the mat and do all the stretches. There's some great chair yoga
Mhm.
that would also help you for that. I know it's more sitting again, but
Right.
also in those chair yoga, sometimes they do have you using the chair as balance and moving your legs and stuff
Yep.
to get that energy flowing. You know, anything that's gonna, you can go up and down the stairs in your house.
Yeah.
It helps to get the energy flowing. So I think that all of those kinds of things help to
Maybe
keep the energy going through the chakra system overall, right?
when you were talking about the stairs, I was thinking about getting a duster and lifting my arm up and dust the corners of the wall. That, you know, that gives you that
Yeah.
stretch. You know, you're home, if you're stuck at home working, there's things you could do at home. Have the cleanest house in the world. Thank you.
Well, since we're sitting in front of Zoom all the time, now I actually learned this is a theater major. So I'm sitting here, I guess I'm doing sort of like Kegel exercises, but in theater, he had us, oh God, I was like 18, and he had us do this breathing work. And then he would say, I want you to tighten your sphincter muscle. I didn't even know what a sphincter muscle was. So he had to explain a little, like, that's like where you poop. I was like, oh my God, what? But seriously, that well, and look how close that is to your root chakra. But like just squeezing it and releasing it, squeezing it and releasing it. And that is, it's working to release that tension. So
Yep.
his point was
Oh,
that you can't, he didn't say you can't channel Reiki. He said you can't breathe, you can't be comfortable on stage if you are all like this. And so that was just one of the exercises. And he never said root chakra, but that was what he had us do. And looking back, I was like, oh, that's what that was about. And where would you carry all your fear before you went on stage?
right, your root.
Right in your root chakra. So that's one thing you can do. You can do that in a Zoom meeting and nobody even knows.
That's really good.
Yeah, Karen, that's very interesting with the mainstream theater guy talking about that. What I do is put on some good upbeat music and dance. I'll go stand in the kitchen and cook, and I'm dancing around. So it's getting the movement going. And even if it's just running to the mailbox outside for a couple of minutes, if it's not super cold, I'll run without my coat and run outside, feel the air, and come back. So.
Yep. So many beautiful ideas. I want to thank everybody. I want to look real fast just see if anybody else asks anything. They're talking on there, but they're not asking any questions. So I want to thank everybody for joining us today on the root chakra and helping, and hopefully this helps you through your daily life and getting through these times that we're going through. You know, life is a little rough right now. That's for reals. And so we want to give you love and support, and let's just beam a little bit. I think everybody needs a little bit of love. If you guys would like just to beam for a little minute, and just breathe this in. I feel it through you guys. Let's just take a moment and breathe. Maybe work your sphincter muscle. Say hello to your root center. How you gain all the security that you need, the trust to develop within yourself, to connect you even deeper to the Mother Earth. We thank you guys so very much for joining us. And we're going to keep this on replay for you. And hopefully we'll see you in a couple weeks on Sunday. Thank you very much.